Hey guys, welcome back to Geek Space. Today I'm going to be ranking all 5 chapters of Poppy Playtime from worst to best. This list was way harder to make than I expected because of how much I love every single chapter. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So coming in at last place, we have Chapter 1, A Tight Squeeze. Now obviously this is the chapter that started it all. It does a great job of introducing us to this amazing world and setting the tone for what the series will become. But compared to the later chapters, it's just a bit simple. The puzzles mostly revolve around you wrapping your GrabPack hands around poles, and at this point we only have the red and blue hands, which don't do anything unique. I'm not saying the game needed to be insanely complex straight away, but a little more variety would have gone a long way. The length is another issue. You can beat this chapter in about 20 minutes, which makes it feel more like a tech demo than a full experience. I understand the budget was limited at the time, but even an extra 30 minutes of content would have made a big difference. However, Wuggy is one of, if not the best Playtime character of all time. His design is simple but incredibly effective. The way he just stands there, like a statue, until he doesn't is genius. And that chase sequence is still one of the most heart-pounding moments in the entire series. Honestly, Mob Entertainment has not topped that chase yet. I don't hate Chapter 1, far from it, but its simplicity and short length lands at number 5 on my list. Coming in at number 4, we have Chapter 4, Safe Haven. And this was the most difficult chapter to rank by far. It introduced many amazing concepts, like Doey, Yarnaby, Pianosaurus, and even the man behind the experiments, Harley Sawyer, the Doctor. And with all these amazing concepts, each one of them was sidelined for each other, making none of them get the spotlight they deserved. The Doctor feels like the logical main villain for the chapter. He's the mastermind, the one pulling the strings. But then Doey shows up, and suddenly the focus shifts. The Doctor ends up feeling more like a plot device than an actual antagonist. He's basically there to get us the Omni Hand so we can repair Safe Haven. Meanwhile, Doey becomes the final boss. I don't hate Doey, not at all. I found myself really caring for the Safe Haven. But there was definitely a version of this chapter with the Doctor as the main villain and no Doey at all. But I don't even know if I prefer that version or not. On top of that, it didn't help that the chapter released basically unplayable. It was riddled with bugs. Overall, Chapter 4 introduced some of the best concepts in the series, but failed to use them properly. And that is why it lands at number 4 on my list. Coming in at number 3, we have Chapter 5, Broken Things. This is actually the most recent chapter, and by far the most controversial. It introduced some of the best moments in the entire series thus far, such as the prototype's full reveal, Miss Gracie's psychological torment, and Lily's amazing lore. There are scenes in this chapter that are genuinely top tier Poppy Playtime. But it's also plagued with unnecessary puzzle filler. Literally 3/4 of the game are puzzles. It also introduced new friendly characters, like Gibbler and Chum Trumpkins, who are obviously here to sell merch, and take away from the isolated horror the game otherwise would have had. Wuggy returns for this chapter, and he is fantastic. He's much more feral and aggressive than ever before. Lily Lovebraid is also a highlight of the chapter. While her design may be one of the worst in the series, her lore is fantastic, and her dollhouse section is one of the strongest sequences in the entire chapter. And then, the prototype. He's been built up since Chapter 1, and his reveal did not disappoint. The brutality, the presence, the chaos, it finally feels like the true mastermind has stepped into the spotlight. His backstory adds depth that makes him both terrifying and tragic. Chapter 5 has some of the highest highs in the entire franchise, but also has some of the lowest lows. The pacing issues and puzzle overload, it just misses the top 2 spots for me, landing at number 3 on my list. Coming in at number 2, we have Chapter 2, Fly in a Web. This was the chapter where Poppy Playtime proved it wasn't just a one-hit viral horror game. The scale immediately feels bigger, the factory expands, the puzzles get more complex, and the overall experience feels far more ambitious than Chapter 1. Mommy Longlegs provided a good contrast to Wuggy. She's constantly present, watching you, talking to you, manipulating you. In order to escape, she forces us to play 3 twisted games that all feel unique and interesting. None of them overstay their welcome. Also, instead of one big chase scene at the end like Huggy, Mommy initiates a hide-and-seek segment. We have to complete puzzles in order to continue, while she can appear at any moment without warning to get us. It's quite scary. Speaking of puzzles, the Green Hand introduces some really cool mechanics that add extra layers without ever feeling unfair. Mommy Longlegs' death is also gruesome and satisfying. It also gives us our first in-person look at the prototype's arm. And the ending of the chapter is so cool. My only issues are that the GrabPack can feel slow in this chapter, and also it's not scary at all. But other than that, this chapter is great, landing it at number 2 on my list. But winning the gold medal at number 1, to no one's surprise, we have Chapter 3, Deep Sleep. This chapter is exactly what Poppy Playtime should aim to be. It's the gold standard of mascot horror. Catnap is one of, if not the scariest monsters in the whole series. His presence is felt everywhere. His worship of the prototype is absolutely terrifying. When he finally meets his end at the hands of his own god, it's tragic and unforgettable. Playcare is by far my favourite environment in the entire series. Each area we explore feels unique and unsettling in its own way. In Home Sweet Home, we enter the red smoke and hallucinate Huggy Wuggy crawling out of the TV. In the school, Mr. Light stalks us like a weeping angel whenever we turn our back. And in the playhouse, we fend off hordes of smiling critters and encounter Dog Day, a strung-up heretic meeting a horrific fate. This chapter does not stop with the horror, and I love that. It also introduces us to 2 new GrabPack hands, the purple hand and the flare hand, both adding exciting ways to solve puzzles and handle enemies, keeping the gameplay fresh. The developers must have sensed that chase sequences were getting a bit stale by this point, so Catnap gets a full-on boss fight. And the ending, where we finally learn about the Hour of Joy, is one of the most unnerving and best handled moments in the entire franchise. Overall, Chapter 3 is the one that truly made me fall in love with this amazing series, and it more than deserves number 1 on my list. Alright guys, we've reached the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below which chapter is your favourite. Do you agree with me, or do you prefer mindless filler puzzles? I'd love to hear your opinions. But anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!